And we are live back for another exciting episode of Agatha All Along, this time episode 4. Couple things to discuss before the episode starts. Let's get into it. All right, guys, Branch here back with Geek Variants. Cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. This time, Agatha all along. And welcome back, Antonio. Welcome back. Pleasure seeing you as always. Look, Agatha had a rough week last week, especially for Team Sharon fans like myself, as we just lost our Sharon Heart, the one, the only, the best gardener, the best neighbor, and the best heart easily out of probably the last 5 or 6 witches we had left hanging out. And I gotta say, look, this series has actually delivered in a lot of ways. So the fact that I'm seeing online as many review bombs as I am about this show is definitely shocking me. What's up, Hockey? Welcome back. Welcome back. And look, the fact the show is getting bombing is almost concerning to me in many, many regards. Because let's be honest here, this show is not bad. There's a lot of suspense, there's good storytelling, there's decent puzzle solving, there's good scare effects. Like what more are you hoping is going to happen in this series? Like the pacing can be a bit slow at times, but to build a nuanced story, you need time. You don't have time, you don't get a nuanced story. It's kind of a weird give and take situation we're stuck in here. Like, and I know my favorite character just passed away just this last week. I am still mourning the loss of Team Sharon. And if that's what these review bombings are for this series, I get it. But when you really look at the truth of the matter, it becomes almost alarming that sometimes people just want things to fail for really weird agenda reasons, none of which I can really put my finger on if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like they're all subjects that doesn't really make sense. I mean, yeah, Penguin has been absolutely killing it. I would say Penguin is night and day better than this. I wouldn't compare it to anything we have going on currently, in my opinion. But at the same time, it's typecast to hit me differently than everyone else. I love mob shows. I love comic shows. You put those two together, you have me typecast to a T. I'm just stuck. There's as long as the writing's good, I'm in 100%. And I will fully endorse that going on. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going around on Twitter, so I'd be careful with that one, Antonio. There's a lot of dangerous things I've seen going on here. It's like, and I don't understand why you would hate on anything as far as like being a female centric show. I don't think there's anything about this that is pushing an agenda, an ideology, if you will, or trying to be like, look, this is going to be the most out there show ever. It was a interviewer who asked Aubrey Plaza that question, and all she said was sure, which at the same time doesn't necessarily mean anything. If anyone has ever seen Aubrey Plaza interview, you just kind of know she kind of marches to the beat of her own drum and will just kind of stir the pot for fun because that's who she is. That's what her shtick is. That's kind of what she is about. She's always been out there, even back in her Parks and Rec days. She's always been one of one. Catherine Hahn has been absolutely dishing right now. She has been fantastic throughout this series. The teenager, I need to know more information. And I know last week, I think we got some leaks online that weren't supposed to come out from Funko Pop, of all places, where they had a release and they had Wiccan listed as someone who looks exactly like the teen. And I'm pointing off screen because I have the Disney Plus pulled up, waiting for that next episode to drop. And he has the same exact match right here in that eyebrow. That same exact gap, which apparently seems to be a trending thing going on. I don't understand why, but hey, it's a trending thing that's happening. He has the exact same mark as Wiccan. My only question then becomes why in the world did Wiccan end up down this road other than to save his mother? I can't see another path to where he would want to go down this path and try and make these things work. Because the Witch's Road, as we've seen, is lethal. There's no survivors for any number of reasons. There's a take no prisoners kind of attitude. They just kind of do their own thing. Yeah. And Aubrey Plaza as being rumored as death, as you've been pointing out, Antonio. Yeah, that's definitely something we could put a lot of stock into. And that would sort of make sense, but it also complicates, I think, the relationship between Agatha and her immensely. And episode 4 has just dropped. So I go ahead and pull up your Disney Pluses if you're going to go ahead and watch that there. I mean, the death pat post Thanos kind of makes sense for the way they had to go with things, because otherwise Deadpool would have significantly more to say. Because if you know the comics, Deadpool basically became immortal because he wanted to have intimate relations with death. Because Deadpool, I don't know, he's just one of those people where it's like, hey, if there's a place to stick something, he's going to. We don't know why. We don't know what he's supposed to be doing. He's just there. Deadpool's always been one of those characters, and Thanos, in order to keep him from being with death forever, decided to give him immortality because then you can't die, you can't go see her. Twisted Dude makes a lot of sense logically. It just kind of works out. Episode 4, If I Can't Reach You, Let My Song Teach You. So they're continuing along with the same vibe. What all that is, minute marker, we can all sync up and go ahead and watch at that moment in time. Skip the recap. I don't need it. I don't want to watch Sharon pass away again because it's not something I want to do. And for those who want to sync up, a minute and 33 will be our sync time. Minute 33 sync time. So I'm assuming that's going to be you, Antonio. So go ahead and let me know when you're ready. And then we'll go ahead and sync on up because I think it's going to be a quieter chat. Some of the viewership numbers are reporting that the show was starting to go like this and is now starting to go back down in this direction. So if you're really enjoying it, be sure to tell a friend, pass it along, see how things kind of go in that regard. The word of mouth is still the best way of advertisement I've ever seen. Because again, if you throw 80,000 ads when I'm trying to watch something, I'm not going to buy your product just out of spite because you ruined the product I was trying to watch. I'm just telling you. Very rarely do I see a product in a commercial and think, you know what? Now that I've seen your product interrupt my show or what I'm doing, that's not going to be it. People left because Sharon died. I'm just going to leave that up for the duration of the stream, Antonio, just because that's it. That's exactly what happened. Sharon Hart was our main character. I'm ready to get the minute 33 sync time up. Agatha All Along episode 4 playing. So let's see what happens here. And oh, cool! I get to start by staring at Sharon. She was a good person. I was like, they're at least digging a hole for her. That part's nice. I'm gonna need to put subtitles on though. Not Spanish. I don't speak Spanish that good. Let's make that real honest and clear here. Mm. Fantastic, Antonio. Fantastic. Let's get this show on the road. Everyone seems to be struggling with the death of Sharon and how we're going to move on with everything going on. Hmm. We're learning a lot more about our other witch who was looking for her mother in here, apparently. Just come to find out, no, her mom passed away on tour, but her mother stated that the road would save her. So that's a huge departure for everything going on here. Good old switch up on the characters. Agatha's still trying to like rush everybody along, and the other witches seem to have lost some of their. But again, this kind of is contradictory in the fact they're like, "Hey, never step off the road." Now they're digging a hole off the road to put a body. So it's like I'm just saying it seems to be an interesting route overall for them to have gone. It is fun to see how everyone's kind of like going on here. Ricotta, welcome in. How we doing? Oh yeah, and she'll never be able to make her cape flip as cool as Strange's, but again, Strange's is magic. So again, it's in that tough situation where it's a weird middle ground there. Where it's like you can't really beat a magic cape. It's like even in Baldur's Gate 3, once you have a magic cape, you're not going to wear the standard one, even if it looks slightly better. But the whole cape flip is one of one. It's a unique move. Right now, we're down at yet another witch, and now they're kind of revealing some of the information here that everyone's going to kind of be a little bit selfish and try and break things up further. But again, from what the thumbnail stated in the episode, I'm just going to take a wild guess. Let's say Aubrey Plaza joins up at some moment in time. And apparently, that Aubrey Plaza's character is rumored to be deaf, all thanks to Funko Pop having an early advertisement for their products, where the teen is expected to be Wiccan. But again, with how good deep fakes are nowadays, who's to say what's what? It's all an educated guess at best at this moment in time. Teen, no one can be replaced. Agatha, are you sure? Like that's definitely interesting. Because we're already down our team MVP. We're not going to find a perfect replacement for Sharon, even if you gave me Aubrey Plaza. And 90% of the reason I was excited for the show was to see her act in yet another series. And again, Catherine Hahn, after what she did with WandaVision, I was sold regardless just to see how things were going to play off with this. Okay. And the chanting in Latin. We have one hold flowers. The other three are doing hand gestures, which are apparently supposed to. Okay, two are doing hand gestures, and the teen is just holding his own hands. And I wonder who they will accidentally summon. It is always funny how they always do this stuff involving witchcraft for Latin. Death is here because Wiccan shouldn't, or is death that brought Wiccan back after Wander took down the hex on Westview? I mean, again, we also saw because of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and what a dumpster fire that entire movie was, that Wanda could potentially have had a life with the kids at some point in time, or this is the continuation of the universe where they still exist, but they're yearning for that relationship with their mom to kind of right the ship, if you will, because she's supposed to be a type of Nexus being. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had her even show up as far as that body was concerned in episode one, or was it episode two? One of the other ones. It's been a few episodes since that's happened. Okay. Oh, Sharon. Oh no, that's Aubrey Plaza. Yeah, that's Aubrey Plaza. They summoned her. How in the world? Their relationship is beyond complicated based upon all this. They have a lot of issues there. How in the world? Mm. So we did, in fact, replace Sharon, Team MVP, with Aubrey. That was definitely interesting on the net crack. Oh, okay. She speaks in demon. I think that Could be an interesting thing to have our tie-in back with the fact we name dropped Mephisto just last week. So she's just as bizarre as she ever was in Parks and Rec, and I appreciate that about her. The Green Witch, all caps, because she speaks demonic. Got it. That is a great call, Antonio. Great call. Tip of the cap to you there. If you want to see Agatha episode 4, Disney Plus. Either do one of their trials or watch the same way I am. We don't show anything in the sphere here due to, no legal rights as far as audio or video. We just watch the episode and watch along. We're synced up currently at almost 10 minutes into the episode. So me and Antonio are at least tracking on the same place because we sync up at the start of all the live streams. Later on, we'll be watching Lord of the Rings of Power, the season finale of season 2. And season 3 is going to be happening because they just hired new show writers. So that's a positive answer there. And now we have a spooky cottage in the middle of the woods. Yeah. And Alice, of course, decides to walk off. I wonder if that's like her childhood house because she walked away from that so dang quickly. You can't go back on the road. Because they just walk backwards and now it's the same exact part of the road that they're going on before. The road says go, regardless if you say stop. There is no red light, green light, as far as this is concerned. Very interesting decor. Looks like the shape of a crescent moon that we got going on, and the moon pattern will probably have something to do with the house itself. Waxing moon, sorry. Huh. She's having severe PTSD from this house. I wonder why. Probably a lot of memories or interesting stuff to go with it. Hmm. So we have waxing moon, fire phase, which I know nothing about this stuff, so by all means, learn. Oh, cool. Interesting new looks for everybody. Very, very throwback. Hmm. Aubrey Plaza, right on with everything. Of course, everyone else is like now enjoying their new looks. Everyone's got a lot of unique looks going right now. Let's see. This looks like we're definitely went back in either the 70s or 80s. Hmm. The teen is really, really like in it, but again, Aubrey's not going to let anything slide with Agatha. Hmm. Agatha seems exceptionally comfortable with her there. No to what? What are we saying no to? That's the main question right now. Like what we have going on here. Yeah, there's a lot of oh, they're showing a lot of stuff that happened in Salem or all the different torture techniques that have been used on witches throughout time. It's really affecting our divination witch. She's crying. Our spiritual witch is seeing a lot of looks like Hibuki mass, which is, if I'm assuming correctly or remembering correctly, those are largely Japanese spirits. Oh, those eyes just closed on that one, so that's a no for me. Everything is too curious overall. That looks like her mom, which again, her mom passed away on tour. So like if there was going to be like a moment in time where like her mother was introduced, this would be it. So her mom was trying to get to the road using a concert tour. Very interesting. Hmm. Oh, our divination witch is basically bugged out right now. So the magic has already affected and started to take hold. Things are very going down a very, very weird road. Those pants are very golden on Agatha. A lot of issues there. Okay, they're not like a recording studio. And again, Rio keeps popping up. I wonder if she's deaf, was this necessarily the person she made the deal with in order to secure the Darkhold in the first place? Hmm, wasn't up to me. Magic with a K. Why was magic spelled with a K? Magick. Hmm. She still won't divulge what she's got going on with the team, but again, Rio is astutely picking up that there's a lot of weird vibes and a lot of weird, I want to say, chemistry issues involving them. I mean, yeah, could be here to collect the debt because the Darkhold is technically out of play, but again, who's to say that? Yeah, they still got a lot of. There's a lot of intimacy going on as well between the two of them. So they've got a lot of very, very intimate stuff going on. Hmm. Okay. Oh. So her plan just absolutely falls apart. Get my bodies. So Death is looking for a sacrifice or an offering here. Oh, everyone needs to stop touching things. Everything is going wrong. It says play me on the music. It's spinning backwards, and then it's kind of like how everyone was always talking about a lot of bad stuff going on. I mean, that's one way of stopping that, especially in those shoes. You could have stomped out anybody. Ah, and now there's a metronome to go off with everything. So yeah, let's build the suspense. A little bit. Rio's got a lot of problems. She's very entertaining, but oh, you can never say a curse isn't too bad. They feel lighter. What does that have to do with anything that they got going on right now? Well, Lilia is having a lot of issues right now. She looks like she's basically burning from the inside out. And now we're gonna have to draw a safety circle in order to keep her fine. No. Ouch. Now that's a thing. It's like, how in the world are they gonna remove a curse? It's like Stairway to Heaven in backwards. It's supposed to be a thing, but I never looked into it. I never play with that kind of stuff. whatever is possessing them, it just seems to be going person to person. So I guess we all need to make a little bubble, and everyone just needs to stay safe at that moment in time because it's just literally possessing them one by one by one. Hmm. Who can say? Because everyone's got shoulder scars now. Wonder if that's wings trying to form out of that. So there's a lot of problems going on there. And Rio's just reading a book, just kind of like whatever. I don't care. The Ballad of the Witch's Road. Ah, so they brought something in they're not supposed to. I mean, honestly, we should have just drawn one big circle the moment we had an issue, but they kind of panicked and make it work. So we're in a weird predicament here. Burn marks for the shoulders. Yep, yep. She's got them too. Those are not birthmarks. Generational curses. Gotta love it. It's basically going person to person. And it was trying to whatever it was does not seem to like the team. He just got yeeted through a window. He's okay, but he just got thrown a pretty good distance there. He seems to be taking it rather chipperly, though, considering he just got thrown in here. Why didn't she come in and check right there? Yeah, she wants to stay in the circle. I don't blame her. We just had a one team member yeeted, two got burned. Things aren't going good. This is a bad day right now. Okay, so it's gonna be more of a musical. They have to sing a brand new song about Lorna and figure out her what her intention for the rest. Ah, so in a way, it seems the work that her mom came to the road, whatever sacrifice she made, worked for her daughter. So Lorna's ballad will be the cure all for everything we have going on thus far. Yeah, I would hurry up. I don't think they have a lot of time because luckily for them, the curse is taking sweet time. The one episode of SpongeBob with the circle, like when he was trapped inside of his house with Peanut, Napkin, and Penny, and then he got attacked by a gorilla. If I'm remembering that episode correctly. Yep. Everyone's gonna have to start playing some music now. So maybe this could be part of why people aren't super interested in this. But again, like they did the chanting for the road and it was super entertaining. I just don't enjoy musicals, folks. I'm not one of those people. So hopefully this is semi entertaining because there's not much for me to discuss when they're talking about this song. So hopefully a lot of stuff like it tries to attack them in the background to make things even more interesting. Because okay, yep. They're basically all gonna be attacked one by one as like we go through these each and every. So it's probably gonna go from band member to band member as we're going on everything. Except for Rio, I'm going to imagine is going to be immune to everything to keep everyone fine. So gonna have to just keep on guessing and hoping for the best here. But again, this has to be such a weird pitch to Disney to try and be like, we're gonna have this dark, gritty witch show and slap Marvel's banner on top of it and be like, hey, this is our product. But again, they seem to be doing a fairly decent job with it thus far, so keeping at least some level of suspense going overall. Oh, cool. Now the curses are just starting fires in the house. It, hmm. I mean, 'cause the curse is apparently a Russian judge, if you will. It is definitely upset that the circle, or at least the song, is being phoned in. Like, I would have drawn a circle around us and then tried going a little bit crazy at that moment in time. Hmm. What was that shot of the teen's belt buckle? And Rio is still completely unbothered by everything going on, where everyone else is nervous. So basically, the character has complete immunity, or is in fact deaf, because there's no way you. If you were deaf, you're not afraid of anything. You know what's at the end. You are the end. And as the song picks up, you're gonna have to hope that they can get out of here. Yeah, it is definitely a musical which is not going to appeal to a super broad audience. But again, this is Disney going back to some of their roots. Interesting shot of Alice with her mother. Considering they have so many guitars, I don't hear anything going on. Ah, now you can actually see like what's going on with the spirit. That thing is terrifying looking. It basically was able to throw out its immunity. That is terrifying to see. I mean, that, that's picking up for me, dog. All this fire, take it more Mephisto uses. I mean, the witch's road and hell seem to be very, very intricately matched together, and the spirits that they have here are definitely creatures that seem to have more demon-like characters than anything else. Hey, look at that. Hmm. She got through with survival there. Well, I don't know if it just got completely into ash or if there's gonna be something worse happening. It feels like a weird reprieve. Yep. Open up a new path. Ah, he got cut from what was going on there. Now we're back on the road, but our teen is down, so eventually we'll have to make the sacrifice to save him. Because yeah, he got a significant cut there. Hmm. Looking directly at Rio, be like, "Come on, huh? Come on, Jen. Water, moonlight. Luckily, there's moonlight right there, and we need water now." But Rio is now starting to see that there's a lot of interesting characteristics being passed on here. Three of Swords. What in the world? And it healed him, so he's should be fine. But he's going to be milking that injury for a while. Because the last thing I think you would want is cursed glass stuck inside of your body, just for many obvious reasons. And Agatha is crying, but Jen just basically saved kid's life, so things are going pretty decently for them right there. They are slowly starting to like come together on a lot of aspects, but again, this is still far too early to tell. And now Rio's interest is going to be more than a little perked by our sudden change of events that we've seen. 11 generations. Wow. He did it. Again, they're spelling magic with a K. But they're not spelling it like magic with one of the X-Men characters, so that's very peculiar. Spending a lot of time drawing us in on that. But I think Rio's relationship overall with Agatha was going to give us our most tell all here, and I think that's going to happen near the end of this episode. But Alice had a huge win so far in this episode, being able to defeat that spirit that was attacking them. Yeah, sad is better than angry. Anger is sometimes a practice in futility. Everyone's getting along fairly well now. Of course, Rio is out here just talking crazy. Agatha cares a lot about this team. It has to be Wiccan or some reincarnation of her baby that she, threw away. Or this is her ability to make things right through this kid, as opposed to what went wrong with her situation. It's a weird middle ground on things for their relationships concerned. The team comes down and is like, "Did you silence me?" Yeah, because the sigil is just a weird middle ground. It seems like he desperately wants it to be undone. So basically, the sigil's either there for his protection or it's there to hold him back from becoming something more. Their relationship is oddly touching. They seem to have some interesting middle ground on things. Until he brought up the sun thing. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you ruined the moment. Did not read the room correctly on that one. Still a very, very fresh wound to discuss. Lily has had an interesting life. Lilia is a space cadet of the highest order. Yeah. Teen stalking, things are going good. She had a vampire bite, scar across her shoulder. So she took out people that were basically going after her. Things are still really tense though between everybody. Hmm. Weird. She did something she had to do, even though she didn't want to. Is that what happened to Agatha's son and why their relationship is so frayed? So Rio's character is definitely more leaning into a girl on girl relationship. Man, she keeps staring at Agatha as all of this is happening, so I'm assuming that they were partners. Things went horribly awry. We got this moment in time. Hmm. Yeah, their relationship is troubled in the highest of senses. Yep. I still got a lot of history between the two of them. So, a lot of weird moments, though. So, how they're going to move on with everything, I don't really know. Yeah, they definitely had a lot past. Something very, very serious. Hmm. Okay. Interesting that Rio would bring up the fact directly that the boys and hers, which means we're just still definitely leading more into the Wiccan aspect of things because they were definitely going to kiss and make up, and instead, now we're not. Not really sure if that episode was better or worse than last week. I think we're still shooting that weird middle ground with most things where it's interesting enough to continue to cover and continue to talk about, but it's not mind-blowingly good to where you're like, go tell each and every single person about this. It's like they're building up to what is likely going to be a huge reveal. But at a certain point, we're going to need more, I'm going to say, large crumbs delivered for us right now. We're still seeing basically the fine points and lighter materials as far as crumbs are concerned because they're continuing to focus on the whole who the teen is thing. And that is very interesting. But at the same time, what is at the end of this road, I'm more fascinated to learn with, and then who's ultimately pulling these strings for like where it's ultimately going. I don't want to get too far ahead of itself though, because as with most things, we saw how crazy the fan theories got when we reached into WandaVision's pocket and tried like extrapolating some minor tidbits to see where we're going to go with each and every character. And for it to just turn out to be just a regular spell that Agatha had over the entire town because of Wanda, that's a weird flip there for everything to be done in that manner. This show has been interesting, but again, it's about as middle of the road as middle of the road gets. It's not mind blowingly good. It's not mind blowingly boring, but like we need something to just push this along because right now, like, yeah, as Antonio said, good episode. We need bigger crumbs. Hints every episode, more questions than answers. Because, like, as of now, we're just kind of slowly addressing some of the backstory issues that we had. But again, Rio's character is the one that will give us the most answers overall. For Rio to already know that the teen is not Agatha's says everything we need to know about where Rio's seat of power is. Rio is significantly stronger and entirely unafraid of everything going on right now. Rio was in love with Agatha, but Rio had to take something of Agatha's that absolutely broke apart their relationship, but it was part of her job, so there's nothing she really could do about it. So again, we're definitely leaning in towards that the Funko Pop that had the spoilers from last week that stated that Aubrey Plaza's character is Death and that the teen is Wiccan are adding up faster and faster. It seems to be less fan theory and more factual and directly on the nose. Because Wiccan is probably here looking for his mom or a way to bring back his mom after everything that happened involving the Darkhold and Agatha and um, everything that involved Doctor Strange and the multiverse of madness. So they're just going to have to address a lot of issues there. At the same time, Agatha seems to be looking for some sort of redemption in the sense that we're definitely going around as far as trying to address the fact that she has made a lot of mistakes along the way and she's trying to be better. But at the same time, is redemption really something that Agatha can do at this point, considering from what we're aware of at this moment in time, she sold off her only child in order to get a hold of the Darkhold and get a hold of power. Still only to get bested by Wanda. And then again, the amount of things Penguin is able to fit in an episode, it makes it worse. Yeah, Rio is greater than Sophia. I'm definitely going Sophia over Rio, hands down. I do love Aubrey Plaza, but considering that Sophia is taking a character that is even in the comics at best a C minus type of character and turning her into someone that can rival the Penguin with both intellectual and their ability of savagery. I'm gonna have to give for that actress a nod. Even though unfortunately I don't know her name, I only know Aubrey Plaza's because I avidly watched Parks and Rec for every season that was on air because it was just funny to me. It was back when we liked Chris Pratt because Chris Pratt wasn't in every single thing that's ever existed, even stuff that he necessarily should not have been in. I'm still team Chris Pratt should not have been Mario, but again, that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother time. Because the Penguin again also is an hour. Agatha's 30 minutes. The fact Disney's never changed up his formula and is continuing only dropping about like 8 episodes per show, I think needs to change. So we're definitely going kind of back and forth on that. I think if you're going to go short seasons, and especially if we're going to do like dropping 2 or 3 episodes at a time, make the seasons longer. Make more people pay attention to what's going on. Are they doing shorter seasons because they're assuming people's attention spans aren't that good? Because I'm pretty sure most people remember that Game of Thrones was, well, about 10 to 12 episodes per season at best, and by the end was like 8. But again, it was an hour long, and every episode was filled with great material. House of the Dragons, for the most part, copy and paste, same thing there. The Boys, copy and paste, same thing there. Penguin, copy and paste, same thing there. When you give hour long episodes, you give the writers a lot of freedom to tell the story that they want to have told, and things usually pan out pretty good. There are very few series where each episode is an hour long, and you're sitting there going, is this over yet? I've got stuff to do. I got to go talk about this or that. As of now, the series for me is still middle of the road. We are in the middle of the Witch's Road. We have a lot of questions. We're 4 episodes in. This is an 8 episode series, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm going to look up the actual number just so I can give you guys an accurate total. I don't want to be spitballing here. Agatha All Along episode total count. It's 9 episodes, so basically we are 5 episodes away from the conclusion of this series. And just to put things into perspective, we don't have a lot of answers at this moment in time. We just have a lot of questions, and we're going to be following a lot of everything else going on with Agatha right here, right now. The first song with Sharon was far more entertaining. I'll definitely give it that, Antonio. I don't really have too much else to break down with this episode. It was mid. It wasn't overwhelming. It wasn't underwhelming. It was just you're whelmed. Like Marvel has been, kind of changing back and forth between amazing and bad all the time. It's just we're looking for some level of consistency. Right now, this is about as consistent as it gets, just straight flat. The effects on that monster were pretty cool. I will give you that 100%. The monster was very cool, very unique, very demonic. They're definitely drawing in a lot of darker elements. They're trying to encapsulate that Halloween themed tone to the show. The tightness of that kind of theme overall that Halloween has, or that special place in everyone's hearts, because again, it's that special time of year. A lot of people love it, myself included. I don't partake in like the horror films. I don't really go that route. I don't really care much for them. I like my sleep. I'm kind of a big baby. But again, at the same token in time, it still for a lot of people means a lot, and people really want to have stuff they can enjoy with it. And if Agatha is able to hit on the next 5 episodes, people will have something to enjoy, and they'll have something to really look forward to, because we're ending the series with 2 episodes for the finale. We have 1 single episode for the next 3 weeks. I hope to see each and every one of you there. If you hit the lovely red subscribe button, it's an easy way of finding us, because that way you'll be able to keep up with all the amazing content. And if you're on Twitch, a follow button is also free. So do so if you love the content. If not, I'm going to get into the episode breakdown. That should be out here in the next 20-30 minutes. Antonio, pleasure talking to you as always. I'll see you guys in the next episode.